Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Similarly Different. It's another solo week, and this episode was actually thought of from a DM conversation that I had with actually not one but two girls in different timelines that I was like, you know what, I think if two people are asking me about this, then maybe I should just talk about it on the podcast. So we are going to be talking about creating your new identity and how to find style not only in your life but also in your closet. Now, I am so honored that a lot of you guys do ask me for fashion advice or like the links and ask for links of what I wear. I definitely don't consider myself a fashionista, and I have been through quite of a wild ride when it comes to fashion and trying to discover who I am in every different age group and season that I've kind of come across. But I think I've kind of figured out who I am right now and where I'm kind of gonna, maybe extend to at times, but I have a pretty good foundation of who Yanina is when it comes to style and when it comes to my life. But there's always room for improvement, right? All right, so I've gone through emo, sporty, conservative, a little bit sexy, and I think what I am now is kind of a mix of all of them. I don't really do emo. Emo is more like in my middle school. But if I am going to go the emo route, I'll do some stuff, and it's usually in fall because it's like, dark tones. And with myself right now, I started Pilates in 2011. I want to say I've been doing it for so long, and I loved it. I felt like it just was my vibe. It really woke up my muscles from dance, and I've stuck through it. Then I went on and did Legree, and that's something that I really loved. I've never been a gym girl, and I've always felt lost in the gym. So when it comes to that sort of identity and self, I just don't see myself ever being a gym person personally. Then, my routine of self-care is constantly evolving and changing. And I think that, I don't know, maybe I'm going to get canceled for this, but I just don't feel that it's realistic. And listen, if you do this, girl, all hail to you. But I just don't think it's realistic to wake up every day and like have this super strict morning routine. I know that for me, I just have to do what my body feels. And sometimes I ignore what my body feels, which that's what I kind of have to implement a little bit more. But I think it's figuring out what that morning routine works for you. If you have a 9 to 5, obviously you got to fit it in where you can. But with me, I don't have a 9 to 5. And I think that leisure gives me time to have so many ideas, and then I do nothing. But I try to do something. I'm definitely not an every morning hot water, lemon, meditate, sit under the sun, then do this, then have an avocado toast. I'm not that girl. Like, I'm just not. Like, all hail to the girls that are. But what I do try to do every morning is have time for myself, because a lot of my work is pouring onto others or delivering to others or showing up for others. So in the morning, whether that's rotting in my bed for an extra 30 minutes, whether that's instantly getting up and making it to a workout class, because I know that I haven't been to a workout class in a few days and I'm starting to get the depression from not moving my body. I just try to be honest with myself and be like, what do you need to do right now? And I try to push myself to go do it. Like I said, sometimes the rotting in the bed wins, or I'm just overly tired if I've had crazy days. But I think just figuring out what actually works for you and what you want to be. If you want to be that girl that drinks hot water and lemon every morning, I promise you, and I only say this because I did do this like a year and a half ago, I promise you, once you get past like the 28, 30, 40 day mark, it becomes your daily routine. For me, I was going through a breakup in 2022, whenever that was, 2 years ago. And I needed to create a routine so I wouldn't have so much time to think and dwell on the topic. So I would go to sleep around 11 p.m. and no matter what, I would put my alarm for 5:30 and I would literally like slide off my bed by 5:45. And I actually learned that from Mel Robbins, because she has a reel on her Instagram. And if you don't know who Mel Robbins is, she's an amazing author, speaker, everything. She's so good. And I love the way she talks. And she said, her therapist, I believe, is who told her this, or her psychiatrist, somebody told her, when you don't feel like getting out of bed, but you need to, just literally slide. slide off. So in days that I know I need to get out of bed, but I just don't feel like it, but I'm either trying to implement a new habit, implement a new routine, or get to it, but I'm just not feeling it, I will slide off my bed because now I'm on the floor and the floor is cold and I don't like feeling cold. So it wakes you up, it makes you move, and it's a way I kind of go around it. Also, I think when you're trying to create a new identity and reinvent yourself and figure out who you are today, it's so important to do a dissect on the people around you. And this does not mean break people apart. This does not mean you are a God and there is nothing that you have ever done wrong in your life or in this moment. This means, who doesn't make you feel good? Write down the pros and cons of certain relationships, of certain friendships, of certain dynamics that you have around you, and figure out which one are you possibly wearing rose-colored glasses to? Which one are probably doing a disservice for you, harm even at times? And which one are stunting your growth of where you want to be? Sometimes it can be sad because in this rediscovery, re-identity of who you want to be, not everyone makes it. And that is something really hard to let go of. And I have a really hard time letting go because I don't want people to feel abandoned or like I left them. But a lot of the times they'll be okay and they don't really care. So I just feel it's like really doing a look through at what's your surrounding, what you're giving your energy to, what is depleting you. And if you want to make a change, you have to make a change in every sector of your life. Then I would also say the places you go and the places that you visit. Now, what I mean by this is, let's say that you're trying to reinvent yourself and you're like, okay, I did my single girl era. Now I'm ready to like be in a relationship. Dating sucks. Where do I find them? Sis, let me tell you something. If you're in LA, you're not going to find them at Dot. You're not going to find them at EPLP. And you're definitely not going to find them at, what is the latest nightclub? Keys or like Highlight Room. You're just not going to find them there. Maybe once in a blue, a person will be like, oh my God, I found my husband at a club and now we're madly in love. And blah, blah, blah. But unless that's the kind of lifestyle you want to live, you're not going to find them there. So stop going to places where you're not going to find your future partner. It ain't going to happen, you know? And yes, people sometimes like, what if it's a European man that happens to come into town in LA and he's with a business partner and he takes them out and then next thing you know, they're at these places. But what if you would have, met them at a workout class? What if you would have met them at church? What if you would have met them at a coffee shop? My friend right now is literally madly in love because she met her current boyfriend at a Blue Bottle coffee shop. She was going to back at home when she was in town. It happened to be closed that day. She was sitting outside because she was like, I literally made time to come to Blue Bottle for this. And he pulled up, also going to Blue Bottle, thinking it was open, happened to be closed, talked. He stayed in the car for, I want to say 10, 15 minutes. I'm probably saying her love story wrong, Taylor, if you're listening. But then he got out of the car and asked her for her number. And I think they've been together now for a year. It's crazy. Blue Bottle should sponsor them 1000%. But it's like you find your person in places that you actually go to and in places that you want to be at around your surroundings. Like I remember joking around to my friend and I said, I'm about to start going to conventions because like I want an intelligent man, but I don't think it's that far-fetched. If you want a man that believes in God, guess where you're going to probably find him? At church or at gatherings of other people that believe in God. Maybe it won't be church specifically, but in a concert, in, of worship music, in different gatherings of other people that that believe in God, that have friends that also believe in God. So I think like also navigating that, and you can't go to, the dollar store and expect to get an Air One smoothie. It ain't gonna happen. So same thing goes with dating. How I gravitate to find what vibe or style I want to be in kind of goes a little bit with, I try to see what's on trend. I'm not really like the super trendy girl. Sometimes I latch onto trends towards the end, and that's okay for me because I don't think finding your style means that you're going to do every trend or that every trend is going to fit you. And understanding that is okay. Like there's girls that have not done the bows, and there's other girls at the moment that bows came out. Oh my God, that was their life. It was just like bows overload. I will do like a sprinkle of a bow here and there because that's just more than enough for me. But I don't need to change my entire style because bows were in style, if that makes any sense. So I think it's just figuring out like, okay, if bows in your hair just seems like dumb to you, try it out. Try it out, because once you do it, you might be like, this looks so cute. And I think that experimenting and trying out is the biggest thing when it comes to your own personal style. It's try it out. If you don't like it, if you feel silly, if you feel like you're wearing a costume, then you know it's not for you, and then figure it out in other ways. Maybe you'll be okay with a bow is the detail on your bag. Maybe the bow is the detail on your shoes, and that to you is more than enough, but you're still doing the trend. Like, you don't have to do it to the extreme that other people do it or that fashion shows for you to find your own personal style. Your own personal style is your identity and kind of like seasonings that you added together to your discretion. So that's something that I try to like really be lenient with. Also, the biggest thing I feel that a lot of people miss is learning to dress for your body type. This took me so long to learn, and sometimes I still like have mishaps with it. I have a petite body, but not necessarily super petite. I have thighs, I have a butt, I have smaller upper body. So it's like, some things look good, some things just don't feel it. Other things, you know, I don't want to look too sexy because of my thighs or legs. Or sometimes, listen, it kills the outfit because kills it in a positive way. Like, I murder it, I kill it, I look fly because I have the thighs and the behind. But I think it's just figuring out what works for you. And what are your favorite pieces of your body that you like to showcase? I have a friend that is going on a trip in December, and she asked me if I could, mind you, I'm not a stylist, guys. I'm just telling you what works for me. But I have a friend that's going on a trip in December, and she was like, can you help me put outfits together for this trip? I was like, yeah, of course, let's do it. And the first question I asked her is, what colors do you gravitate towards? Do you like that you look in? And what body parts of yours do you feel comfortable sharing? The reason why I say that is because I'm not going to waste time looking for a dress that has cleavage if she doesn't like to show cleavage. The purpose of you finding your style is not to, well, I think you should experiment. It's not for you to buy things that you don't feel comfortable in. It's for you to buy things that you feel comfortable in that works for you. So with that, she was like, I like showing my chest and I like showing my arms and my legs. I don't like showing my stomach. What does that mean? That if she's going on a tropical trip, I'm going to try to find one-piece bathing suits, or if they're two-piece bathing suits that come with a cover-up, to try to be able to camouflage the areas that she doesn't like when I'm trying to help her. And I think that's so important, because for me, for a really long time, I didn't wear two-piece bathing suits because I was so self-conscious about my stomach area. And sometimes still I am. I come and go, it's weird. But with that, I know that I like showing off my legs. So if I am going to wear, let's say, a one-piece bathing suit, maybe I'll figure out a mini skirt that goes with it so I can show off my legs with it. I'm not a huge fan of like the side of my arms, and I think that's aging that has made that happen. But I don't mind showing them. But if I am going to show them, I just learn how to pose so it's not like blop, you know, when it comes to my arms. And then again, I have a smaller bust, so I don't mind having a plunging neckline, but I also don't want it to look like I'm trying too hard. So it's just figuring out, okay, write down what you like, and then how can you implement that into your personal style to make it go into the next level. I always say that my style is like casual and simple, but elevated, and sometimes I'll be a risk taker with it because I try not to do too much, but it's just doing enough of the right things. Another thing, when it goes to self, take classes. If you want to reinvent yourself and have a new identity, you have to find new hobbies. I literally just asked a friend of mine if she knew anybody that taught golf. Why? Because I think golf is such a really good game to know and a good sport to be knowledgeable in. And if you're good at it, that's a plus. But you could network, you can meet so many great people, you could have opportunities in that I, in this day and age, I've had for now like 3 months the idea of golf. Everybody's really into pickle and paddling or whatever and tennis. And I'm just like, I want to pick up golf and I want to see if I'm even good at it. Now, if I'm horrible at it, I was told that if you're bad at golf, like you don't get better. So I have to figure out if I'm really bad at it first. But if I'm not horrible at it, I want to pick it up because in my identity that I am evolving into, I want to keep being around people that are smarter than me. And I feel like golf is a sport that people of wealth happen to be around a lot. And also it's starting to become more mainstream, which I also think it's pretty cool, but it's a growing sport in mainstream that I just want to tap into. So have new hobbies, take classes, whether it's pottery, go to new restaurants. If you want to meet new people, if you want to have a new identity, if you want to have a new vibe to you, go to new places. You are not going to change if you are in the same setting. Doesn't mean if you're in the same nightclubs, in the same restaurants, in the same things. Try new things. And then another really big thing that I feel is important is you have to understand to drop your ego and your pride when reinventing yourself, because you are evolving, you are molding, you are creating a new version of yourself. So you can't expect to be the smartest person in the room. Like, I do not know it all. And while I do this podcast and I talk to you guys and tell you guys what has worked for me, I'm constantly having conversations with other people. I'm constantly on Audible reading books or listening to books. I'm constantly watching videos because I want to learn. I want to be around people that know more than me. I want to be around people that have done more than me so that I could expand not only my brain, but my network and my net worth for the version of myself who I want to become. And I think that's really important. If you're the smartest person in the room, that's the first mistake you're making. Now, when it comes to staples in your closet and in my life for who I want to be, when it comes to fashion, I think that it can be really overwhelming for people to start a new closet. And obviously it's a financial take on as well. But there's honestly places like Zara that have like $10, $15, $20 t-shirts that are classic and simple. It depends on your style. Again, are you a button down? Are you a bodysuit? Are you a crop top? Are you a loose shirt? But I think whichever style it is that one works best for you, you feel the most comfortable in, you feel the most confident in, getting a set of those in different colors is always so key for me. Now with Zara, for example, it's not sponsored whatsoever, but like Zara makes really good bodysuits. And I love bodysuits because I feel like it shapes your body. It makes you look put together. And I believe they have every time they have a sale, their bodysuits go from $20 to $13. And when they're not on sale, I think they're $19.99 or $23, $25.99. So I would say getting neutral or solid colors of that so that you can intermix with different bottoms. It's so important. And those could be all season round. And if you take care of them, they will last you. Also, H&M has them, even though H&M lately has been going really expensive. I don't know why, but H&M has them as well as other stores if you just look online. Now, again, like I said, tops, you have to figure out having a mixture of button downs, crops, t-shirts, spaghetti strap is really key. Now, something that a lot of people don't know is that the reason why I also love bodysuits is because you can use bodysuits in different ways. I keep telling myself I'm going to make a video about this, but when it comes to bodysuits, you can wear it as a bodysuit. You can grab the front part of the bodysuit and the back and clip it together and tuck it under your bra, and now it's a crop top. You could also grab the bodysuit piece and put it to the other side and wear it diagonally. I've literally done all of this and people have no idea that it's the exact same top, but it's a top that fits me good. So if it fits me good here, it's going to fit me good 9 times out of 10 everywhere else, unless you have those bodysuits that are super short, and that's really annoying. But Amazon. Duh. Amazon's a really good place too. ASOS, where you can get bodysuits at times black, white, gray, or black, brown, white for a set. And once you find a store on Amazon that fits good, also, I put everything on my Amazon storefront. So if you guys ever see anything on mine, LTK Amazon storefront is on there. Another really important thing is layering. I think that what makes outfits, it's layering, whether it's accessories, which are so key if you look, earrings, bangles, rings, having a good balance. I don't typically do both arms. I'm going to do one arm or the other. Rings are really important. I think your handbag is an accessory that can add to your outfit, whether it's a pop of color, whether it's that it's monochrome and it matches with it, whether it's just a black or white, gold or silver that is just a statement piece, brown. Your shoes are also an added accessory that will be something. Your shoes are also an added accessory that can literally pump up your outfit, whether it's with a pop of color, whether it's because it adds a chic look to it, because it's a pointed toe in a sporty outfit. It's just figuring all those little details out that can really make your outfit just look a little bit more elevated without trying too hard at all. It might be even things that you have in your closet that you're just why didn't I think of this? And I think that goes back to experimenting, but we were talking about jackets, and with jackets, I think it's so important for people to have certain key things in their closet. Having a good leather jacket. Now, whether you like an oversized or a fitted jacket, that's up to you. You can eventually have both in your closet when you get there. They don't need to be real leather. They can be faux leather. Nowadays, they make them so well. And a trench coat for the fall is so important. Zara has a lot of trench coats that literally go in and out of sale all the times. ASOS, H&M, Amazon. A blazer, a good fitted blazer. Now, I don't mean like a conference type blazer. We're not going to a TED Talk type of blazer. I'm talking a fashion blazer. What does that mean? It's usually a man's blazer in a size, let's say medium, if you are my body style. Obviously a size up if you're a little bit taller, if you're more busty, whatever it is. But usually, like, I love pairing an oversized man's blazer with just a jean and a white top. You did so little and it just looks so chic and put together. I think having a blazer in your closet is really key. Right now, cropped blazers are in and they have them everywhere. You add a cropped blazer to literally a tank top, a bodysuit and jeans, or to a little, monochrome outfit, and it just adds something to it. You obviously want a jean jacket, whether this is more for like spring or summer. I think having a good jean jacket, again, all the stores that I said are such good staples, but a leather jacket, a trench, a blazer, a jean jacket is so key for you to have. Then once you like start expanding, you can think about jackets that are more like bubble jackets or a cardigan jacket and more like detailed. But for the first, when you're trying to figure out the basics, I think those are really key. Good fitting jeans are so important because whether it's an oversized jean and that's the look that you're wanting for, or it's a boot cut or it's a flare jean, if it fits you, it makes you feel so confident. Now, listen, I get it. Nobody wants to wear jeans, okay? We all are like, life is tiring as it is, but when you have a good pair of jeans, it just makes everything look so much put together. You don't need to have a jean with the gap. And I'm going to tell you, if you have the problem of you're like, I have so many jeans that I love, but I have the gap in the back of my waist, go to Amazon. Go to my storefront or don't, but go to Amazon and get the buttons that you're able to hook on and you clip them on and it removes the gap. You don't have to get it tailored for $40. You don't have to be wearing it that way. You don't have to do a shoestring and make it look all not clean. No, all you have to do is go to my Amazon storefront or go to Amazon and literally put jean adjustment buttons. They're like $5, $10. It will come in a pack of 8. You can clip them on to wherever it fits you the best. And then now you have a new button and you haven't damaged the pants. Another really good thing that honestly I used to always use hair ties for is bra hooks. I think bra hooks are so important because you don't want to wear an outfit that you finally are like, oh, this looks so good, but the bra is showing. And sometimes for bustier girls or even for myself who is smaller, a bra is just a necessity in it. And you could also do like the stick-ons. I personally don't like nipple covers because I feel like it shows the outline and it's like usually really big. But there's the silicone full-on stick-ons that they sell. They also have the bra hooks that you put them in the back and it turns it into a racer back. And again, they're like $5.99 on Amazon. Adding these little things that are around, but you just haven't added it to your closet and to your staples is so important because it can just elevate your look as a whole to a different level that you didn't realize that such a small little change could do. Now, for me, sometimes the easiest way to dress is to buy sets. Buy sets, whether it's sets of sweats or sets of outfits that go together. Why? Because that is the lazy girl syndrome that makes you look put together. You buy a set, all you have to worry is now accessorize it and you're good to go. And people think that you put a lot more effort into it. So if you haven't now, I'm telling you, jump on it. If you are buying sweats because you're like, I'm going the sweats route, accessorize your sweats. If you're in the fall, add a bootie to it rather than a sneaker every so often. Add jewelry to it, like make yourself girly on the outside of the sweat so that it can balance it out with what you're giving. And I promise you, my favorite look is an airport look. A sneaker, a boot, accessorize the crap out of it, big gold hoop earrings or like a statement earring, put my hair up in a clip. I'm not even trying hard, but I have rings, I have bracelets, I have a purse, I have a bag, and I look like she must know what she's doing. And it's so easy. You don't think about it, but you just look put together. I recently got rid of all my ugly sleepwear And I promise you, I kid you not, I had like one set of sleepwear for like 3-4 months because sleepwear is expensive. It's like $30-$40 per set. But I just told myself, I was like, you know what? I want to go to sleep. I don't know if this is aging me, but like I was like, I want to go to sleep having a matching pajama set and grow older into being that person. And little by little, I have built a new drawer of PJ clothes. I threw away all the promotional shirts I used to have from brands, all the like exes shirts. The amount of shirts I had from my exes that were just sitting there, I'm like, this can't be good energy either. So all of that stuff, I just got rid of it. And I was like, let me go to sleep feeling like who I want to be. And now I have PJ sets. I have a slip-on dresses. I have robes that little by little, not only have I bought it, but I've also been gifted it because I've voiced it that that's who I want to be. And I think that's also another thing. Like if you want to switch your style, your habits, voice it to people, because then they will invite you to things, they will gift you those type of things, and they will help send you into the next phase that you're trying to become. I had a friend of mine recently tell me that when she goes into new relationships, she buys new sets of underwear. And I thought that was so funny, but it makes sense. And she was like, yeah, every time I'm dating someone new, I just buy like a few new sets of underwear. And I'm like, why do you do that? And she was like, I don't know. I just feel like this is a new relationship. So I just kind of like want to wear the new set. And I told her, I said, do you get rid of all your old underwear and undergarments? Like, that's crazy. That's expensive. She's like, no, but like, I don't know. I just start using like those sets more. So listen, if it rocks your boat and you got financial for it, go for it. But that one is a little bit like extreme, but I just thought it was funny and I just remembered it. Now, when it comes to self, I love Audible. I love Audible because if I am trying to go into a new stage of my life, a new level, a new mindset, I have to listen, eat, and breathe the things I want to become. So Audible is great for when you're in the car. I listen to so many books. I actually hadn't been on Audible for like 3 months and I had like 8 credits sitting. And last night I went and I got so many new books. I paused my membership because I was like, I have too many credits on standby, but I have so many books that I haven't listened to that I have had in my notes app written down of books I want to go read. And I'm like, I have Audible here. I drive so much in the car. I could just have it on there and be learning, rewiring your brain and putting new thoughts into your brain and new thought patterns, new habits of ways of thinking. So Audible is really good. Go for walks, move your body. Whether you are an athlete, whether you are not, whether you feel it's really much of a challenge to start adding to that, walk. Walk is the thing that every human can do. Implement a walk like if it's a meeting in your calendar and go for a walk. It makes you be able to think better. It makes you be able to look at things from a wider perspective. It makes your brain have to calm down. It adds steps to you. It moves your body. Go for walks. I personally have this thing that I've been doing for quite a few years, and it's that I challenge myself to not drink a few times a year. Not because I battle with it, but because I want to make sure that I don't lean on it to be able to bring me happiness. So once a year during October or November, I don't drink. And people are like, you're crazy for doing it in these months. But I do it because I really like to challenge myself. And I'm not saying for you to choose these months, but from last year I did November and I did it all the way to March. So I started November again and I'm going to see how long I do it. There's people that only do dry January and hey, that's cool. You know, like you can choose March for whatever reason. You can choose June for whatever reason. You can choose your birthday month if you want to. But I think just like challenging yourself to cut certain things out for X amount of time really helps you not only learn discipline and being focused, but it gives you a challenge to overcome. And if you're going to want to be a new version of yourself, overcoming that is a step into the new direction. So I really recommend that. Also, health. A lot of times we take away from the importance of our health and out of the fear of what if, out of the fear of what we've grew up around or the cost of it. But when you look around, you may be spending just the same amount of money, if not even more, in the bad habits that you have, whether it be drinking, going out, eating bad, wasting money on things that don't matter. So really, if you want to be the next version of yourself, you have to be the best version of yourself for that to come into your life. So, doing your checkups, doing the things that you may be put off. Like, this is so random, but I've always wanted to go to a brain doctor because I obviously have lived some stuff. And I just want to know what things is my brain still holding on to. Now, let me tell you something. Insurance does not cover it. And it is an expensive penny to go to a brain doctor and like do all these brain scans and figure out like, okay, where's my brain at and how many treatments do I have to do to get my brain here. But it's something that in the next year, I really want to focus on because it's something that I truly want to better. And as we get older, I want to make sure that my brain, out of all things, is at its best capacity. So maybe yours is your reproductive system. Maybe yours is your gut health. Maybe yours is your heart health. Maybe yours is, I don't know, your joints or your bones. Whatever it is, make it a mission for in the next year, in the next 6 months, in the next month, whatever timeline you want to give yourself, that you say, you know what? I'm not going to focus on everything. I'm not going to focus on joints and bones and gut and this and that all at once because that's overwhelming. But I'm going to focus on one of them and really get to the bottom of it so that I can be like, okay, now I know that. Move on to the next step. And what is that going to bring? The next version of yourself. So I think just like giving yourself little goals and little tasks is what's so important, because a lot of the times the idea of going into what we want to become can be so overwhelming, can be so debilitating, the thought of it. So it's just breaking it down and picking and choosing the next version of myself is going to come with these things healed, these things figured out. So I'm going to grab this from self-image. I'm going to grab this from health. I'm going to grab this from this, and I'm going to grab this from this. And that is what I'm going to focus on the next 4 things for the next year. It doesn't have to be in a month. It doesn't have to be in 6 months. You literally make your realistic timeline that works for you. Whether that reasoning is, the reality is it takes me time to cut off people, whether the reality is for habits to really become habits for me, I'm going to be honest with you, it takes me 6 months, a year. Okay, that's fine. It is your journey, and the fact that you even want to do it is so key and so important. But whether it's fashion, whether it's beauty, whether it's health, whether it's finances, all I can tell you is that reinventing yourself and establishing who the new version of yourself is going to be, it's always going to make you feel better, because you're always going to be going to a level that you were never before. And I think it's just really taking that time for yourself and not being the motivational speaker to your friends, to your sister, to your mom, to your dad, but being it for you and picking. Maybe 4 is too many for you, and that's okay. Pick 2, pick 1, but take that step to really do it, because we started off with fashion, but I said fashion and self. And I think that it's never too late to start. It's never too late to change. It's never too late to really evolve. We're forever evolving. And it's just like, you can listen to this episode now. You can listen to this episode 6 months from now and it be your start again. You can listen to this episode 3 years from now and say, okay, I got stuck in a rut. I'm going to start again. And we are always going to be able to find new versions of ourselves, and there's so much fun in that. There's so much fun in the fashion of it, in the beauty of it, in the discovery of like, oh, now I'm older and I used to care about this stuff. Now I care about this. Now this is what's attracted me. This is what I want to be better in. This is what hobbies I want to partake in. This is what things interest me that I kind of want to like dab my fingers and see what's there and see what comes out of me in it. And I just hope that you guys were able to take something from it, because that's how I kind of see it. And I don't know if it's a realistic way to see it. I'm just sharing you guys my mind, my heart, in hopes that you guys are like, you know what, this is what I needed to hear, and now I'm going to go and do it. Again, give yourself grace, but don't let yourself continue to sit on your own poop and really go out there and do, if it's at minimum, one thing to be able to get to the next level that you want to be. You're always going to find enjoyment from it. You're always going to find happiness from it. And you're always going to be so happy to be able to meet the 1.5, 1.8, or even 2.0 version of yourself. That I can say wholeheartedly and confidently. So before we close this episode, let's listen to a latest submission from Similarly Curious.
Hi, Yanina. I have a question. I recently got out of a 5-year relationship. It was very serious. It felt like a marriage without the title of marriage, essentially. And my question is, I'm thinking about getting myself back out there and starting to go on dates again, but I'm having a lot of apprehensions and just, questioning myself if, number one, like if I'm really ready to do that, not because of any remaining feelings towards the relationship, because I have completely moved on, but more so wondering for myself, have I done the healing that I need to do to show up as a elevated better person in the next relationship that I get into. And also just, I think I've lost my spark a little bit and feel not very confident right now. So I'm wondering if maybe those are the things that are holding me back and making me feel apprehensive. So all in all, my question would be, how do you know you're ready to start dating again? And secondly, how do you build your confidence and build yourself back up to go into dating again? And how would you go about getting out there again? Thanks so much. Curiously yours, Anonymous.
So I think that dating in 2024, 2025 is scary in itself, just because it's so different than back in the day and it's so technological a lot of the times. But I think that overall, to answer the first part of the question is, I think it's how do you know you're ready? And I don't think you ever know you're ready until you feel peace with the fact that the last relationship ended. And once you feel peace with it and you feel like you've started healing from that, I personally, again, I am not a psychiatrist, a therapist, or anything like that. But from my own experience, what I realize is that one, I learn the best when I actually do the action. So with that being said, I don't mean like that sounded so wrong, but like when I put myself out there. So with me, when I started dating, I got on an app because I didn't know how else to. I don't really respond to dating DMs because I'm not on Instagram as a dating profile. Now, if you are on Instagram and you're, regular lifestyle, all this stuff, and you get a DM from like a friend of a friend, there is nothing wrong with going and getting a coffee. But for me personally, just because my page is a little bit different, I kind of don't go that route. So I did sign up to a dating app, and then I got really overwhelmed by it. And I kind of closed it for like a month or two. And then I went back and I started just figuring out like, maybe this person's interests me. There's not a really deep thought into that in the beginning. Now, what I will say from all of this is that while there hasn't been anybody that fully has caught my eye from dating apps, what it did taught me with the people I have gone out for a drink, for a coffee, for a walk, for dinner, is that it's made me realize who Yanina today in this moment, what she appreciates, what she likes, what she finds attractive now, what she doesn't find attractive anymore that she once did, what now makes her cringe, what actually is eye-opening that she never saw before. And I think all of that has made it where it's been market research, but also really interesting in figuring out and in this whole self-discovery, again, of self, of this new age and this new version of myself that I'm becoming. And whether that relationship, that dynamic, that outing doesn't work, it's fine, because I was able to gain something from it by not only gain something from it in myself, but also in the person that I would love to be with, and be like, oh, I really like this from this person. I really liked from this. And I know that eventually I'm going to find the person that's not going to hit all the check marks, but it's going to hit the important ones. And I think that that's something that I suggest everybody do. And unless you're obviously entertaining one person and you're getting to know one person, like go out there and date, get to know people. It can be very overwhelming at times. And I just put myself on hold at times when I just don't have the capacity or really don't want to answer the questions of how was your day or where did you come from and all that stuff. But when I have slow weeks or when I feel like I have the energy to, I put myself back out there and I'll go on a date. I'll go on 2 dates and figure out again what I enjoyed about it. And if I enjoyed the person to deeper level, then I'll go out with them again. And I've just been taking it like a grain of salt and seeing where I go with it and letting it flow. I don't know that I'm going to be the best person to tell you how do you get to your next relationship, because I haven't gotten there yet. I think dating in today's world is very interesting. People will either, myself included probably, but people will either not give you fully a whole chance to be like, is there something really there, without getting to know other people. And I just don't do that. I'll go on a date with one person 1 week, maybe 2 dates with that person, but I'm not going on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday date with 5 different people. Like there's no way that any of them I feel are going to stuck to me and I'm going to get confused. I'm not even going to remember what story Joseph and Peter and John said to me. I'm going to get them all confused. So I think for me, it's just, go at your pace. If your pace is that you're able to handle that many, cool. But go out on dates, feel it out, and then give yourself time from that But I will say it is a little bit of an ego boost when you start going on dates, because you start realizing like, you know, I still got it. I'm still that girl. So I say go out there and make the best of it. I hope I answered your question. And this wraps up this episode. Until next time. Bye.